Hey guys, welcome back to The Bright Side. Macy here, The Bright Side Girl, and today we are doing my unfinished series video part 2. In case you missed it, I will link part 1 up here in the cards. You can click that little eye and check out that first video. But this is all of the series and duologies and trilogies that I haven't read that I physically own. I was not aware when I started filming part 1 that it was going to take quite as long as it did. So this is part 2 and we'll see how much we can cram in. Okay, so up next is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator. I think this is just a duology. I have never read or listened to these. They're both by Roald Dahl and they're definitely classics that I need to get to. I'm gonna include this next trilogy even though I am missing a book. So the Queen of the Tearling, The Fate of the Tearling, Invasion of the Tearling. So I'm missing book 1, but I feel like I have enough of them. So this is just another like royalty fantasy YA series. I've heard pretty good things at least about the first 2 books and they're absolutely beautiful. These are by Erica Johansson. Next up is one I'm kind of iffy about. So I have Not a Drop to Drink and In a Handful of Dust. So this is a duology. I read Not a Drop to Drink several years ago with my husband Jeff and I have very mixed feelings about it. These are both by Mindy McGinnis. I kind of wondered if Mindy McGinnis was not the author for me, but then I read another book from her and I loved it. So this is future post-apocalyptic where we have run out of water. That's kind of like the theme of the story. I personally didn't think this actually followed that theme very well and our main character was kind of unlikable, but this is following a different character that I did enjoy. So I'm kind of wanting to like reread this one, like maybe audio and then get to this one. I'm kind of debating DNFing it, unhauling it. I'm not really sure, but it's here for now. So next up we have the Replica duology, Replica and Ringer, both by Lauren Oliver. I do really enjoy Lauren Oliver's writing style. I recently found Ringer at the Dollar Tree, well, not super recently, but a month or so ago, and I was really excited to find it because I wanted to get to this for a while. So I think this is kind of dystopian, and the cool thing about this one is it's told in 2 different perspectives but during the same timeline. So you can start it from Gemma's perspective, or you can start it from Lyra's perspective, or you can read one chapter and then the other and back and forth. I think the second book is the same. I really like that idea. I'll probably read one chapter and then the other and kind of just see how this goes. Next up I have the Eve trilogy, and so this is kind of like one of those weird things where it might be poor timing, but it might be okay with it. I don't know. So this is basically about a virus that wipes out 90% of population. So I think this has something to do with like girls repopulating the earth, kind of dystopian style. I'm not entirely sure. I have the full series, so we have Eve, Once, and Rise. I'm not sure what order they go in, and these are by Anna Carey. So next up is the Graceling trilogy. Again, I'm missing the last book, but I'm just gonna include it in here. So we have Graceling and Bitter Blue. These are companion books. I think the last book is called Fire. They're by Kristen Cashore. Super epic, like girl power type fantasy. Heard awesome things. I've heard great things about the audiobook too. It has a full cast. So kind of excited to try these out. High up on my list. One that's not really talked about here on BookTube is the Rebellion trilogy. I think this is a trilogy. I think this is dystopian. Underwater city. So we have Rebellion, Renegade, and Revelations. I was hoping these kind of had mermaid vibes. Not really sure though. I think it's about an underwater city, but kind of a dystopian style. I'm really excited to try this one, so let me know if you guys have heard of it, tried it. These are by J.A. Saunders. Another duology, we have the Furthermore duology, Furthermore and Witchwood by Tahara Mafi. I love the Shatter Me series by Tahara Mafi, so I'm really excited to try something else from her. This is her middle grade series. I don't know a lot about it other than that the world is in black and white and then the main character can like change colors. I'm so bad at like describing things that I barely remember in my head, but heard great things, pumped. Trilogy time. I think this is the Perfect Ruin series. So kind of annoying the covers don't match, but Perfect Ruin, Broken Crowns, and Burning Kingdoms. So again, I think another dystopian series. Lauren DeStefano wrote the like Wither, Sever, Linger series that I read a couple years ago. It was like a surrogate style dystopian. I liked her writing style even though it was kind of slow. I didn't love those books, but I want to try something else from her, and this is just one that I have. Next up we have the Descendants trilogy or series. I think this is a trilogy. So we have Isle of the Lost, Return of the Lost, and Rise of Isle of the Lost. These are about Disney villains kids. I know this was like a Disney movie or TV show like back in the day. I really like reading like Disney reads and retellings of Disney. So these are by Melissa de la Cruz. Speaking of Disney, I don't have all of these, but I have quite a few of them. So these are the Liz Braswell like retelling books. So we have Tale as Old as Time, A Whole New World, Part of Your World, and A Reflection. So Mulan, Beauty and the Beast, Little Mermaid, and Aladdin. So those are all like retellings on different Disney stories, and same kind of thing. Sounds great. Another dystopian series. So this is the Unwind series. I'm actually missing Unwind, but I have Undivided, Unsold, and Unholy, again, not in that order, by Neil Shusterman, who wrote the side series that I super love. So this is a dystopian series about people having the ability to like unwind their kids for parts after they've reached a certain age. Like if they don't really like their kids or they want to get money or something, they can like choose to have their kids like taken apart and taken their organs out and stuff and donate them to other people. So it's like a really disturbing dystopian series. Let me know if you guys like this one. I'm a little bit nervous about it, but I really like Neil Shusterman. Next up, the Great Library trilogy. So we have Paper and Fire, Smoke and Bone, Ash and Quill, all by Rachel Kane. I think this is an adult series or a new adult series, and I know it's just some kind of fantasy series revolving around magical libraries, and that sounds awesome. And I've heard really good things. I think this is a duology. I'm not sure if she's writing more, but we have Curse So Dark and Lonely and Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Kemmer. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I know it's got somewhat of a modern twist, but also a fantastical element. I think she kind of gets thrown into a fantasy world. I know there's really cool aspects about this series. I love Beauty and the Beast retelling, so yay. One I am super pumped for because I don't really hear about it on BookTube. So this is the Eyes Like Stars trilogy. So we have Eyes Like Stars, So Silver Bright, and Perchance to Dream. So these are kind of interesting. They're very fantasy books, but they're told in acts, kind of like Shakespeare style, play style. So they call them like Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3 for the books. So I'm not really sure how that's going to come into play. I don't know if they'll have like Romeo and Juliet, Shakespearean type themes, but the covers are simply stunning. Haven't heard very many people talk about them, and I'm still really into fairy books. The Girl of Fire and Thorns trilogy, I am missing one book. So we have The Girl of Fire and Thorns and Bitter Kingdoms. So I think I'm missing the middle one. Heard super awesome things. This is a lot of people's favorite series. Favorite trilogy. This is by Rae Carson, another female empowered fantasy series. I don't know specifics about it, but I hope to soon. Walk on Earth a Stranger trilogy. Missing one again, but Walk on Earth a Stranger and Like a River Glorious. And this is also by Rae Carson. So this is set at a period during the gold rush, so kind of historical fiction fantasy. So I know that our main character has like some kind of magical powers where she can kind of like pull gold from the earth. Sounds great. They have some of the most stunning covers ever. Really pumped. The Ungodly trilogy by Kendare Blake. Again, missing one. Ungodly and Mortal Gods. And these are kind of going to be like a grown-up Percy Jackson vibe is going to be my guess, with some darker elements, Grecian folklore, and I really like Kendare Blake's Three Dark Crowns series, and I really want to read more from her. Next up, a couple nonfiction books, kind of a duology, but they don't really go together. Picnic in Provence and Lunch in Paris by Elizabeth Bard. These are just like a girl's memoirs with like recipes and stuff about her travels through France, and it's giving me kind of like Eat, Pray, Love vibes, but maybe with like a little bit milder a tone. Through the Looking Glass series, I think. So we have Through the Looking Glass, A Mad Zombie Party, and Queen of Zombie Hearts. So these books are super stunning. Look at this. They're super pretty. So this is like a retelling of Alice in Wonderland. I think it's modern. I think it's a Sanus Island style, and also zombies. I really don't know if I'm gonna like this, so you guys let me know. I'm okay with some zombie-esque things. I just don't like things that are like super gory, but they're really pretty, and I do like Alice in Wonderland stuff, so just let me know. More zombies. Something Strange and Deadly series, Something Strange and Deadly, Darkness Strange and Lovely. I don't have the last book. I think it's only a trilogy by Susan Dennard. This is like gothic, horror, romantic zombies. Yeah, girls in pretty dresses. It sounds like I'm probably gonna like this one. Then we have the Bone Witch trilogy. So Bone Witch, Shadow Glass, and Heart Forager. I mean, just stunning. So these I know are witchy horror books. I haven't heard amazing things about them, but I'm hoping that I like them at least, saving these for the fall. The Unearthly trilogy by Cynthia Hand. Unearthly, Hallowed, and Boundless. Sorry for the shiny covers. So these are angel books. I think this is one of the only angel series I have left. So angels, fantasy, probably some really good old school YA romance. I really liked Cynthia Hand's book that I read, Fated, which was about werewolves, quite a bit, werewolves on the Titanic. So I have high hope for these, and they're also stunning. Super popular, Vicious and Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. I have mixed feelings about V.E. Schwab at the moment, but these are about two men that discover they can have superpowers, and they wind up becoming kind of like frenemies. And yeah, I don't want to say too much more. Heard pretty good things, but I haven't been super thrilled with V.E. Schwab yet. We will see. Hope I love him. The Dreadful Tale of Prospero and The Last Prince of Alistair. Also a duology, I believe, by Alexandra Bracken, about a young man whose grandpa made a deal with the devil for his soul, and now he's kind of dealing with those consequences. Middle grade, heard awesome things. Saving it for the fall. And I think this is the last one I'm going to talk about. So I know that these don't all go together, but I'm going to put them together. So I have a whole pile of Star Wars books. So we have Star Wars Leia by Claudia Gray, Star Wars Most Wanted by Ray Carson, Star Wars Lost Stars by Claudia Gray, Star Wars Return of the Jedi by Tom Engelberger, and Star Wars The Princess, the Scoundrel, and the Farm Boy by Alexandra Bracken. I know a lot of those don't go together, but I need to read a couple to see if I'm actually that big of a Star Wars fan, or if I need to stop collecting them. So there you have it. Those are all of my unfinished series, duologies, and trilogies. I didn't include any mermaid books in this video because I will probably be doing one closer to Mermaid Marathon when I start to do more mermaid themed videos where I talk about those. And I didn't include any that I have read the first book from, so I do have quite a few unfinished series that I own, like the whole series or the whole trilogy or all that jazz. I can do a separate video on that if you guys are interested in my unfinished series, so just let me know. I'll put a little poll up here. You guys can click that eye and decide if you'd like to see that sometime soon or not. And yeah, that's everything for now. Let me know how many unfinished series you have on your physical TBR or on your Goodreads TBR or on just your mental list and all that kind of stuff. I know that this is insanity, but I get books for really cheap around me, and I'm really thankful for that. And I also share and trade and things and do things with friends. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this little mini series. I hope you're having a great day. I'll see you guys next time on The Bright Side. Bye. I know it was either a TV show or a babe.
I was coming in.
Sticker residue.